I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day. Listen, I have an amazing author on the show today. Miss Sandra Enders is here. I'm going to call her Sandy. She told me to call her Sandy. I like that. So I'm going to call her Sandy. Hi, Miss Enders. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
So tell us about yourself. I mean, you have done so many different things in the education field.
Yeah, I only moved into education about 25 years ago. For 20 to 25 years, I was in retail and financial services. And then after I married, I quit the corporate scene, went back to school to teach. And my biggest goal in life was always to become a psychotherapist. And I finally did that the last 15 or 20 years. It took me a lot of years because I was raising a kid and taking care of my mother. My mother was with us for 17 years. So, a lot got put on hold, but eventually I got there. I'm going to be 64 and I'm just getting my final license over the next few months.
Wow.
And then in the meantime, I wrote a couple of books. My mother died on me 5 years ago, so I wanted to do a tribute to her. And she was always heavy into the rosary, and I was always heavy into hypnosis. So I created the Meditations on the Rosary book, which includes 20 guided imagery scripts on the 20 events in Christ's life that the Rosary follows. Mm-hmm. It was kind of initially meant towards, Christian therapists, that type of thing. But I did hire an English woman, a voice actress, to read it. And it's out in audio on my website, sandraenders.net. It's all out in audio for free if you just want to sit back and listen to the guided imagery scripts, and those bring you right into the life of Christ, the 20 events that the Rosary goes through. I don't know if your readers are familiar with the Rosary. Do you want me to talk a little bit about what it is?
Yeah. I mean, some people may be and some people may not be.
Yeah. Well, I grew up Catholic. It's really a Catholic thing. I don't really know why it never really took off with many of the Protestant groups, but it's basically meditates on the 20 of the events in Christ's life. It's broken up into 4 different sections: the joyful mysteries, the sorrowful mysteries, the glorious mysteries, and the luminous mysteries. And there's 5 mysteries under each category. So there's 59 beads. I have my crystal with my sterling silver crucifix. 59 beads. You say Hail Mary for 53 of them and the Our Father for 6. But while you're saying them, it's not really just a repetitive prayer thing. While you're repeating the prayers, you're supposed to be focusing on the event that you're going through. And each event has what they call a fruit of the mystery, which teaches a Christian virtue. And you dwell on that while you're reciting the Rosary. A lot of people think it's just repeating the prayers over and over and over again, but it's really the meditation on the event that you're going through, going through. For instance, the 4th sorrowful mystery is Jesus carries the cross, and the fruit of the mystery is patience. So you would dwell on patience, the fruit of the mystery.
Oh, gosh.
It's fun to do this whole thing you got to go through this 2 times to do the whole thing. No, wow. Wait, 4 times to do the whole thing. And it's a lengthy process. Most people will do a quarter one day, a quarter the next day, do it in quarters. Another one is the 4th joyful mystery, the presentation of the baby Jesus at the temple. And the fruit of that mystery is obedience and purity. So each of the events has a fruit of the mystery, which teaches a Christian virtue. And I just got carried away with it. I was always carried away with it because of my mother. But I realized what a good tool it was, as from a psychotherapist point of view, to teach character development, because each of the virtues really teach a part of of good character development. That's what got me so into it recently, to do these guided imagery scripts. Working as a psychotherapist now, I realized how important that the fruits of the mysteries taught, which the parables were the intention of Jesus teaching those parables throughout the New Testament. He was always teaching some kind of a moral, or something. So that's why I kind of got into it lately, and I always had a fascination with it.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That's deep. I mean, you really did go deep.
I did. It took me 2 years to do it. I started it
Wow.
about a year and a half before Mom died. And I just wanted to do it for her. And then she started to get worse, and I put it aside after 18 months. And I kind of forgot about it. And then a few months after she passed, I said, let me get that book back out and finish it. And I did. It was nice. It was a nice dedication. I didn't really write it, to make money, to be honest with you.
Right.
I wrote it to put on my resume and for something to attribute to my mother. That's really why I wrote it. I wrote it because I wanted to acknowledge her and to put on my resume for teaching jobs and psychotherapy jobs.
Right.
But then I had Westbow publish it. This was in 2017. 5 years ago, it really didn't go anywhere. And then the past year, I get all these publicists calling me over the book after 5 years. And I'm thinking, what's going on?
Wow.
But I realized that meditation all of a sudden is huge since COVID. I mean, I think COVID kind of sprung meditation out, the importance of meditation. And all the psychotherapists now preach meditation and mindfulness and staying in the moment. That's a big part of psychotherapy, especially with addictions, which is what I work in. I work with substance use disorder, and everything is about practice staying in the moment and meditation.
Gotcha.
So all of a sudden this past year, I got all these book people calling me. I'm saying, yeah, I guess I'm a writer too. I never really wanted to be a writer. So then a few of them mentioned, well, what's in your, what's your third book going to be? So I started coming up with some other ideas on more ascension raising, because lately I'm more into, I'm very eclectic spiritually. I mean, I grew up Catholic, I'm still in the church, but spiritually, I've always kind of been eclectic. I went through the New Age stuff in the, in my 20s and the 80s when it first got big. I always kind of stayed into the paranormal and the all the different types of religions, Buddhism and Hinduism. I'm always been fascinated by the metaphysical world. So the next thing is going to be more on ascension. How to do meditation, how to connect with the higher powers, and also the knowledge in the universe, the Akashic record, they call it. I don't know how into spirituality you are. The Akashic record is the Hindu word for the universal knowledge that's out there that you could draw in and download, as they call it. They call it the Akashic record.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I'm kind of into that. And I've been studying the dimensions now that a lot of the energy workers work with, like the Reiki workers and
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and the chakras, clearing the chakras, the meridian lines. I know a little bit about the energy stuff, but it's not my specialty. But I'm very much into my whole life was spent trying to connect with them. I grew up with a mother like that. She was constantly praying and constantly asking, trying to talk with them. And I kind of just always been fascinated by the metaphysical world. So It's been my life story.
Wow. And then now you had a second book.
Yeah, this was Pentateuch on the Meditations on the Pentateuch. This went to my dad, who actually, he died 35 years ago, but I did the second one to him. Also, my local Catholic parish closed that year. In 2017, they closed about 200 parishes around Connecticut because the Catholic Church is really kind of collapsing. They're closing up a lot of them. So I kind of had a acknowledgement page for my spiritual director and the church that closed. And this book is on the first 5 books of the Old Testament, which the Christians call the Pentateuch, but it's really the Torah, the Jewish Torah, exact same 5 books, which I just kind of was studying at the time. I wanted to learn more about the Old Testament, and I was taking some classes on scripture, and I just felt like going through the, note taking, and then I threw some illustrations in it, and I came up with the meditations on the Pentateuch. This took me 2 months. The first one took,
oh my gosh.
yeah, the first one took 2 years. This
Right.
took me 2 months. It just, this, when the Spirit goes through you, I don't know if you write it. Well, do you write much?
Yeah, I do.
When the Spirit goes through you, boy, it could go through you, but then you could go for years with nothing. Now,
Nothing.
I'm
Oh, I
really
know.
trying to get it back now, and it's like nothing's really coming to me. I got to push myself to do it. And yeah, when the Spirit goes through you, the Spirit went through me them 2 months, because I just wiped it right out. And I don't even know what to do to get it back. I just keep praying and trying to figure out how to get that Spirit back. But sometimes it's just there, and sometimes it just isn't. You have to be inspired to write.
Yeah.
So I've just been doing, psychotherapy. I do psychotherapy at Retreat Behavioral in New Haven for substance use disorder. And I love the work. I really do. This was always my life's goal, to do this type of work. And help with people and mental illness problems that are kind of usually comorbid with substance use disorder. COVID, things really worsened. It just got so out of hand, the substance use problem. So many people dying, and I knew it was my calling from way back. So, I'm just loving it. And I still teach a little bit, not as much as I used to. I teach a marriage and family course now at Central Texas College. That's about all I've been teaching lately. I'm developing a program for my local adult ed center about ascension and consciousness raising. So I'm putting together a program for them, a certificate series program. And the classes I teach at Retreat Behavioral is usually ends up on how to ascend and rise up in consciousness level. And I stress the choice point, the decisions you make every day, because that's going to create your future. And staying in the moment's a big part of it. Staying aware. Things are changing in the world very quickly. And, a lot of it has to do with the astrological changes too, from what I gather. I was never that heavy into astrology, but I watch a lot of I listen to a lot of the documentaries on ascension and consciousness raising. And supposedly we're moving quickly into the age of Aquarius after 2,000 years in the age of Pisces. And it's a big, big shift. It's going to be, from what I hear, it's supposedly going to be more matriarchal, which is nice, because the last 2,000 years, was patriarchal, and the church ruled and controlled, and they left a lot out of the Bible in the 3rd century.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you realize it too. They left a lot out.
Yes.
They just did. They left a lot of Jesus's metaphysical teachings. They got They did. They got the social teachings right. I mean, do good works here, treat your neighbor well, the food pantry, the food bank, this and that. They got the social works right. But for some reason, maybe to keep control of us, they left a lot of his metaphysical stuff out, which from what I'm reading now was really based on the Essenes, John the Baptist group, and the Gnostics from Egypt.
Right.
Yeah. Then you're seeing that too.
The book, it was the book of wisdom. There's the book of Solomon. There's the book of, there's the oh my gosh, there's so many different books. From
the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found all
Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah. I study a lot of that.
Yeah, they got the Gospel of Thomas, Mary Magdalene, and they left so much out in the 3rd century.
They did.
It was the men. They controlled the church. The the men there, and they just pick and choose what they wanted. And I don't know if it was deliberate to keep control over everybody.
It was
and
deliberate.
I think so too.
It was deliberate. I'm not even going to try to cover that up. That was deliberate. It was deliberate in more than one way, not only to oppress the people that didn't understand. A lot of people couldn't read, but also the slaves and the people who were, you know, the Irish slaves, because it wasn't just Black slaves. There was Irish slaves. There was the Indian slaves. There was all kinds of different people.
Look what they did to Central American natives.
I know.
It was horrible. They destroyed all of their teachings, the Mayans. And
I know, because I got part Indian. I did the whole DNA thing, and I got Chihuahua and Seminole and Chickasaw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would have been around Oklahoma area, no? Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know. I got the whole thing. I'm like 17% Irish. Okay. I got.
And the rest is native?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wish. No, I am. You want to go down this road? Okay. I am everything in the middle of the central, what is it? The UK. So it's got, I'm Jewish. I'm Filipino. I'm a little bit of Asian. I'm a little bit of, what is the, Palestinian, African, UK. I got some UK in me, some white. I have what is it? I have Irish in me and Scottish. And then
you're really mixed.
Yeah, well, our tribe, from what I understand, was taken up first and then sent over. So we went up, like they sent us up for work, and I'm Spaniard too.
What do you mean up for work?
So from Africa, we went up. Instead of coming over,
up north.
We went north.
Yeah.
Rather than our family north.
Okay, rather than
all the way
west.
up to Ireland.
Okay.
From Ireland, we were shipped over. The last stop we had in Ireland was with Lord Robert Dundas, which makes me a duchess. Go figure.
Wow.
Then coming over, we went straight to Mexico. That's what the Chihuahua, it was New Mexico. So New Mexico used to be owned by Mexico before the US government took over. That's where the Chihuahua, Seminole, Indian, and the Chickasaw came into play.
Yeah.
And then all the rest. And I'm just everything.
Yeah.
I'm a mutt.
Interesting. Yeah,
I'm a
that's
mutt.
very interesting.
But I think it was the control. It was definitely the control.
I think so. Well, they got, not only did they get indulgences, they got taxes. So they got to control their finances and their soul.
Yep.
You know, and if you didn't go along with the program, you would be condemned to hell. I mean, it was just a
I know. I know.
It's really sad what they did. And then who knows if they even burned the Alexandria library. Sometimes I wonder if they were responsible for the Alexandria library.
We just don't know. Nobody's talking. Yeah. And I think I know why. I think most of the people are dead.
But it's kind of collapsing. It's really sad.
It really is terrible.
I grew up in it, so I'm still, you get used to the social aspect of it. So I never really left it. But the past 10 years, I'm really seeing it in a different light, and it's really sad. Yeah,
it's really bad. And and seeing it in a different light, I've always seen it in that light, where it's always been there as an oppressor. You have to be good. You got to listen to the authorities. You got to do this. You got to do that. Yeah. Well, whatever happened to your dreams? I mean, where do they fit in? Where do you fit in as a person? Where do you fit in as an individual, as a creative person, as a psychologically, it's damaging, and it's mental oppression.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is.
Yeah.
I just really started to realize how severe it was the past, I'd say 10 years. But I was so into the social aspect of my local parish. They were my whole social support system, raising my kid and taking care of my mother, that I just didn't see past it all, because I needed that. I think that's what kind of kept me from it. But they're falling apart. And it's always a travesty to see, things that used to be so evident and so prominent fall apart. But at the same time, it's like change is inevitable. Yeah. Well, I think other things are going to be changing too. You could just see it. I think even the monetary system's going to be changing. You could see it with this new type of money they're using. I forget
Yeah.
what they call it, the Bitcoin. Yeah,
Cryptocurrency.
cryptocurrency. I think that's going to be a big thing. AI,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, is getting to be a very big thing. And
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the new frontier. Also in mental health, I've been trying to study the area of the use of psychedelics in mental health. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's getting to be a real big thing. Microdosing of psychedelics for treatment of depression, past trauma. Mental health is going to be going in that direction. They already
What?
legalized. Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, stop.
Yeah.
Psychedelics, like the stuff that used to like the mushrooms and the
mushrooms. Yeah. They already have ketamine clinics open in Connecticut, and there's two things in the pipeline in the FDA, which will probably be approved within the year. One is psilocybin mushrooms, the old magic mushrooms. I swear this, I'm not joking. This is going through real quick. And the other one is MDMA, ecstasy.
What?
Yeah. You have to treat it with microdosing though.
So, I mean, okay, wait. So how does that work for a person? I mean,
it's supposed to expand your mind. This is microdosing. This isn't talking about.
I understand. I got you.
Microdosing, the hallucinogenics, is supposedly opens up your mind so much that you become aware of the social structure collapsing. You become aware of what's happening in the world. You become aware more of, the powers that be, what they're doing to us. I mean, look, they got us traumatized. Every day there's a new trauma. You watch the news, forget it. You're traumatized every day. These are just a small percentage of the people that run the show here.
Wait, but that's supposed to help us?
Yeah, because it opens up your eyes to see just who's running the show. A lot of people don't even realize who's running the show. They think the presidents around the world are running the show. They're not. There's higher ups running this world, and they keep us traumatized with fighting between CNN and Fox. I mean, it's constant fighting. They keep us traumatized every day with a new trauma, so we don't really see what's going on. So these drugs supposedly are going to open up your mind, expand your mind. I swear this is no joke. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Yeah.
It's so, you make this stuff up. You can't.
It's so crazy. You can't make it up.
You're kidding me. Wait. Okay. So wait. This is supposed to treat what? Depression?
It's supposed to treat. They're approving it. The FDA is approving them for. LSD isn't on the list yet, but MDMA is ecstasy, and the psilocybin is the mushrooms. They're approving it for past trauma, post-trauma, PTSD, and heavy depression, untreatable depression. However, it's not going to probably be approved for addiction, but a lot of the doctors are going to be prescribing it for addiction.
Wait. So I'm kind of confused. So if a person is depressed or traumatized and they take this and it opens their mind even more, I think that they might go deeper into. No, I don't understand that. I don't get it. It's only temporary.
What's temporary?
The effect.
Oh yeah, it is. It is, but it alters your brain for good. It's not something you have to do regularly. So now they're already opening, I think Colorado already legalized everything over there. What state are you in?
I'm in Florida.
Colorado, I think, just legalized everything over there. It's getting nuts. We got ketamine clinics in Connecticut that on their website, the clinics, they already have it advertised that they're going to be offering psilocybin and MDMA, because I applied for jobs to these places and they come back and say, oh, we're not taking applications right now because we have to wait until it goes through the FDA. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been following that too.
I just found out now.
Yeah, you might
Right
want to
now.
look into that. That's an interesting area for you to look into.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like it permanently alters your brain.
Yeah,
But
it
okay.
permanently alters your brain. Well, supposedly LSD was being used through the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s before it was banned in 68. That was being used very successfully for alcohol. One of the founders of AA, Bill W., I think it was, actually got cured from alcohol from LSD.
No, I'm not saying that this might, I'm not saying it won't work, but what I'm saying is with all the negativity around these drugs, now they
Yeah.
want to say that they're positive drugs.
Yeah.
This is the one thing I don't understand. You
Mhm.
can't tell me that it's negative and then come back around and tell me it's positive. So it's been positive all this time, but you're just trying to capitalize on it because now, since it's going to become legal, the drug dealers are not going to have anything left.
Yeah.
And they're going to
Yes.
be able to tax everything. So this is
Yeah.
all about money, and it's always been about
And
money.
it's about control too, controlling the
That's
people.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We won't get into that right now.
Yeah. I don't even know why I brought that up. I don't know if I'm going to put a little bit of that in the next book.
That's
Probably
what I
a
was going
little
to
bit.
ask you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it is something that's part of your career.
Yeah, it is getting really big, and I've been researching it a lot, and because I know it's going to be big. Because
Oh my gosh.
we can't treat trauma. Trauma is so difficult to treat. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to treat, and trauma is what causes the addiction problems. It's past trauma that causes probably almost 100% of behavioral problems, and probably about 50 to 60% of mental illness issues. Trauma, people don't realize what trauma does. It causes a lot of the problems in mental health, a lot.
Wow.
And it's very difficult to treat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see it. Why do 22 vets a day kill themselves?
Oh.
It's a bad situation. Wow. So, I mean, they're just getting desperate or what? I don't know. But this is something to keep your eye on it because it's going to be.
I will. I definitely will. I want to thank you so much for being on the show, Sandy. Where can people find your books? And then I know you're kind of in the middle of doing the next one. I'm hoping it comes out soon. But with all of these different things going on.
Yeah, they're both on Amazon. They're both on Amazon and AMBNN. I think they're both on Amazon, AMBNN, and then this one's on Westbound because that was the original publisher.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll have that. We'll put that.
I hope I
those
didn't
links in the description.
you. Did I distress you, Yaya?
I think I've always kind of like been distressed.
Yeah, I know. How can it get any worse?
It just kind of like takes my mind to a different level. Okay, so depression can be treated with things that can open up your mind so that you are literally more aware of your surroundings. I think that this may have a double-edged sword here.
Yeah.
It could be a double-edged sword because a person depressed and then their mind is open may even send them into more of a depression instead of bringing them out of it. A traumatized person, the same thing. This may not work, and it may work for some. I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll probably find out within a year, I'd say. They are not recommending it for people with psychotic problems or schizophrenia, though.
Okay. Okay. I would hope not.
Yeah. It's very heavy out west. Oregon and Denver and California. They're using it a lot out there.
Well, no wonder they have like robot cars. Nobody can drive. Sorry.
I know. I mean, we're in a bad situation here on Earth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are. Wow. Well, Miss Andrews, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome. It was so nice talking to you.
And you too. And thank you guys so much for joining us in this talk of meditation and the Bible and all the other stuff that we talked about. If you want to know more about her books, just go ahead and go in the description box below and click on the links. If they're not readily available for clicking, just go ahead and copy and paste that in your browser and click enter. It'll take you straight there. I want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in.
Thank you, Yaya.
No problem. And don't forget to, thank you, you too. And don't forget, guys, to dare to be different.